It's Tyler with Gaia Force Gaming, and I'm here to bring you another Meta-Byte, a series in which we look at the top deck lists from our weekly GFG Discord events. So this last Monday, we had a pretty good event. We had a full 5 rounds for the first time in what feels like forever. So there wasn't a weird odd number of players, a weird pair down that lost, or a tie. It was just like a full 5-round event. And I'm really excited to bring you guys some of the very interesting decks that came top 4 in this event. I did wait a little bit to put out this video because the winner Grayson, I believe he was going to put out a deck list on this list. I'm not sure if it has uploaded or not, but please check out his channel over at the Digi Academy to see his deck list and a further breakdown other than just the deck list, which I will talk about in this video. So without further ado, let's go into some of these lists. So EX03 format in North America. It's pretty exciting stuff. It really allows for a lot of creative deck building, and we are seeing the usual suspects. We are seeing a lot of very cool, I don't want to say like innovations, but just cool little tech choices. Starting with, though, an unorthodox deck. This is Sean Correa. He did go 3-2, coming top 4, which is awesome that we're seeing like an X2 in top 4. Just shows that our tournament, played to completion, and the tiebreakers were a little bit more sound with the metrics. So he played this very interesting Minerva Loop deck. So we have the 4 Demi-Meramon Egg. We have the 4 Gabumon, with the inherited draw 2, discard 1, 3 Gazimon, 2 Psychmon. We see the 1 Kinkakumon, which is very cool, just a way to get rid of floodgates. We used to see that in the old Lilith Loop days, and make a return here for Minerva. We have the 4 Scatter Mode, of course, the 1 regular Eismon, 2 of the Devimon Blocker. We have all 8 of the Cerberusmon package, the Good Boy Rush, 2 of the Lucamon Fall Down Mode, of course the 4 Minerva, 1 Lilith, 2 Creepymon. Feels like big Creepymon investment here, but it obviously worked out pretty well for him. 1 Death Xmon, 2 Jackraid, 4 Revive from the Darkness, 1 Calling from the Darkness, 1 Dead or Alive, 1 Pandemonium Flare. Very cool little tech there. 1 Purple Memory Boost, 1 Deathclaw, 1 Matashita, and 3 Analog Boy. So this is just a very toolboxy deck. If you get very familiar with this deck, you find yourself doing really well with it. It does have some silver bullets, but if you can try and play around those silver bullets or catch your opponents off guard, this is a very strong deck. We haven't seen it do well at premier events, but I know that this deck can do it. I just think people don't have faith in it for 9 rounds, so we're not seeing it being taken as often as maybe we saw in Japan. So congrats to Sean on 4th place with Minerva Loop. In 3rd place, we have Eddie Meza over on the Royal Knights with his Bloomlord deck. We're going to see Bloomlord a lot. I think it's a deck that we're going to see at least 1 in every top 16 for premier events moving forward for a little bit. It's consistent, it's fast, it's strong, it's got just big potential to make big plays and play from behind even. It doesn't need a lot of memory to get going, and as long as they don't have a floodgate, you're just kind of off to the races. So he played the 4 Argomon Egg, 1 of the Gummymon, 4 of that new Searcher Palmon, 3 of the Floodgate Pomu, 4 of the Suspend Pomu, 3 of the Palmon that boosts attack. I wish I paid attention to his games. I want to know how often this came up as opposed to, like, say, a Mushroom Mon or a different card in this area, but that's a very cool choice. We have the 4 Red Vegiemon, 4 Sunflowmon, 4 Weedmon, of course, 2 Cherry, 4 Agitar, 1 Argo, 2 Blossom, and then on the top end, we have the 4 Bloom, 3 Hydra with the single Shiva. I like that. I do like that. The 1 HPD, 1 Samity, 3 Green Memory Boost, and 2 Mimi. So, just very solid list. I think the Shivamon is smart. I know in the Ultimate Cup, Ying ran Shivamon in his Bloomlord deck. I haven't tried the Shivamon yet when I'm testing Bloomlord. I do prefer the Death X in that spot for like that flex spot, but my list is pretty similar to this. And I know Ying's is also very similar to this because we talked about it. Um, but Bloomlord's strong. Shivamon's a strong tech choice, so try it out if you want to see how that goes. Other than that, what can I say? Like I said, powerful deck. It plays from behind very well with very little memory. So here's a solid list to give a try. Congrats to Eddie on 3rd place. Up next is 2nd place AJ with, he played the War Greymon, or Black War Greymon slash Gaomon deck, which we haven't, took like a little, I feel like this deck we see all the time. But it doesn't get like quite the recognition it deserves. Like I feel like it's performing well every time I see it, and people just don't talk about it the same way they talk about something like Bloomlord or Examon even. When I think statistically this deck is topping more than Examon, even though Examon just got a win. But people just like the new toys. I think this deck, because it's not flashy, it kind of gets forgotten about. But I love Black War Greymon as an archetype. So here's the deck. We got the 4 BT5 Agumon, 4 Agumon X, 4 of the promo Agumon, 4 of the Greymon that gives blocker, 1 BT5 Greymon, 4 Greymon X, 1 starter Greymon, 4 of that BT8 Metal Greymon, 4 of the Greymon X Antibody, 1 of the EX Metal Greymon. We have the 2 Black War Greymon, 3 Gaomon, 1 BT1 War Greymon. Really good to have that 1 of for that security control matchup, that Mastamon matchup. Just anything where your protection might not come up as well. Blitz Omni, the old Omnimon X, which is, I think, the better choice in this deck because you just end up with such a huge stack that this card is kind of a backbreaker. 2 red memory boost, 2 X antibody options, 1 win rate, 60%. We see this in another deck that topped at a Bandai event, and it was very cool tech choice that works out very well in this deck. Yeah, I actually really like this. Not only does it help you, like, it just creates so many good plays, and something you can do is discard a white card to evolve into the Omnion X antibody for very cheap, which is very strong, I think. So then we have the Taikamiya, the Hero, and the 4 Cool Boy. Solid deck. Give Black War Greymon a try, guys, especially going into the next format that's going to be coming out in February. BT11 Black War Greymon X gets a lot of support, so just familiarizing yourself with these cards and combos will pay dividends in the future. So yeah, congrats to AJ. His only loss was in the finals, which up next is probably my most anticipated deck to talk about. Like I said, I do hope Grayson does a deck profile over on his channel, so we got more in-depth about it. But this has restored my faith, rejuvenated my passion. I have rebuilt this deck with a little bit of changes. Grayson, with his first event, repping Luxury, by the way. He is on Luxury's Digimon card game team. So Luxury Gaming, for those of you who don't know, is a pretty good group of guys. They do a bunch of different card games. They host events over on their Facebook page. Check them out if you haven't already, but I'm sure you've heard about them because they're very big in Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Dragon Ball Super. But he is now on their team, as well as still heading up the Digi Academy. He played Beelstarmon. And here we see the list. I think Beelstarmon, with the ban list that came out hitting Shoutmon, stands to be better in this meta because just cards, like decks aren't maining Shoutmon outs, which also hurt this. So it's just kind of in a better place to do what it used to do again. And that was just be a kind of high roll, aggressive deck, kind of toolboxy, and just steal wins it shouldn't, honestly, which is, I think, its greatest strength. So 4 Demi-Meramon, the 4 Gabu, 3 Gazi, 3 Psyche. He did say that he ran these ratios because he couldn't find the 4th Gazi. So keep that in mind. He did want to do 4-2, just couldn't find the cards he needed. 1 Dracmon, 3 of the Sistermon Blanc being such a good card in this archetype now to add another opener, discarding 1 to draw 2. 1 Vial, 1 of the Ginkaku Promote, For scatter mode, one of that Ogremon for sec +1 just to apply some pressure by discarding a card. It's very strong as a one-of in this deck. One Doberman, again just that toolbox, grab it back, I think one's the perfect number. 4 of the Beelstar, 2 of the Death X. Then for the option list, you could tinker with the options a little bit, but his ratios are very solid. You have the 1 Gavald, 4 Plasma Decker Launcher, 3 Kakaitis Breath. So this is just 7 things that remove insecurity that get around like no deletion effects. And also the Plasma Decker Launcher, just playing it for 5 doesn't feel as bad as obviously 7 for this to answer a big stack. But yeah, you can mess with these ratios. I think in my list I dropped 2 of these, 4 of these, and then I play a Happy Bullet just to help some generic toolbox answers. 4 Fly Bullets, 1 Calling from the Darkness, 2 Miss Memory Boost, 2 Deathclaw, 3 of the Nailbone, and 2 of the blue Ghost Game Tamer. I can never say his name quite right. So this is very interesting deck. I think it just was in a good position to take people by surprise. Congrats to Grayson for going 5-0 and winning the event, especially with such a interesting deck that we haven't seen for a while. Didn't really get much new support, but this is a deck that just doesn't go away. As long as there are 7-drop options, I feel like you're going to see this deck. You're going to see the diehard people who love to play it, like Grayson, like myself. But yeah, that's really it, guys. Congrats to Grayson for winning the event. Congrats to everyone in top. Thank you everyone for playing and supporting the channel and the team and the Discord. If you don't know, you can join our Discord, play in our Monday night events to win cool prizes. We got custom mats, custom dice. I'm going to be throwing in some tournament packs here and there as they're available for me to be able to do that. And yeah, thank you guys for everything. Like, comment, subscribe, boost the algorithm. I'll see you guys next time.